I just want to let you know, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about overcoming past trauma and tips just to get through our day-to-day life. Welcome to this YouTube channel. If you are hurting, struggling, or just feeling alone, then you've come to the right place. Well, what's up, everybody? We all have one thing in common. We all have a past. Whether how painful or dark it is, it varies from person to person because we've all have been through horrible things. We all have a past. How to get through it, how to overcome it, and all of that takes time. It really does. And so, if you've seen some of my videos, I have shared details about my life and from being homeless to being sexually assaulted when I was 8 years old to from moving from one state to another, and it can be very, very difficult to get through our past because we can't forget our past. We can't forget the things that we've been through, and sometimes we have flashbacks, and sometimes we get triggered that reminds us of what we've been through in our life, and it can be very difficult just to overcome those things. And so today I just want to let you guys know that no matter what you go through in your life, no matter what you're facing, no matter how dark it is, no matter how painful or horrible it may be, or how it feels, you're not alone. I want us to all come to an understanding that we are a community here on this YouTube channel. Some of you I've never met, but you guys are awesome. You've been through a lot of things that even I haven't even faced. But you see, that's the best part about community. That's the best part about being a human being. We all are different. We've all been through several things that are just horrible. But some of it are even awesome. Because look at how far you've come. You've come a long way. I mean, I've come a long way. We've been through things that most people would have already given up and quit. But you didn't. I didn't. We didn't give up. We went through this together. Or we can get through the rest of it together. I mean, we have a long future ahead of us. We do. Whether that's tomorrow, 5 days, or even 20 years from now, we can get through these things together. Because what you faced in the past is nothing compared to what's coming. So we got to be prepared. We got to be ready. So today I would like to talk about overcoming our past traumas. Now, you know what they say about grief, right? Grief has no timeline. Grief could come up. You could have feelings of grief or loss just pop up at random. You just want to break down and just cry because of the memories. The memory is the hardest part about overcoming past trauma because it just puts you in like a trance where you remember what you felt and how painful it was in those moments. So healing takes time. Overcoming these things in our life, it takes a lot of time. And you might not ever overcome it, really. It might take you for the rest of your life to overcome certain situations. But you know what? You can get through it. It is one day at a time, one moment, one victory, one step at a time. And that's what recovery really is all about. And I've been through several 12 steps just to get over certain situations in my life. And you have to put in the work. It's very hard. It's very difficult. But it is possible. Now, you can't always overcome the memories that come at random when you remember certain situations. That's very hard. Believe me, it is very difficult just to overcome the memories of it. I mean, good God, it can be the most happiest day ever. And then all of a sudden, something reminds you of what happened in the past. Like, it can trigger you. And all of a sudden, you're depressed. All of a sudden, you're just feeling sad because you remember the hurt. And that's the worst part. Where if you're just feeling happy, you're having a great day, then all of a sudden, this wave of depression just comes over you at random. You're like, oh my God, I was just having a great day. Now I'm just in a depressing mood. You know, I mean, some of us have mood swings. Some of us have bipolar disorders where we're just happy one moment and down in the dumps the next. And those are natural, especially when you are struggling with your mental health and those disorders, and people like to put you down and, oh my goodness, you struggle with that, you're not normal. I mean, none of us are normal. We all have our unique different ways about us. We've all been through pain. Pain is pain. I mean, I went through lung cancer. I went through 3 weeks of radiation treatments. And oh my goodness, I felt like my world was ending. I felt like dying with all the pain that I was going through. I may have overcome and beat cancer, but really that was God. Really that was the prayers of people. And really that was my positive. I chose to be positive. Even though I felt horrible, even though I felt pain, even though I felt like I just want to end it all, I chose, you know what? In spite of how I feel, I'm choosing to look at it from a positive angle. I'm choosing to focus on why I'm choosing to continue to live mentally. My kids, people that love me, people that are supporting me, people that want me here. And some of us, you may not have anybody to really, you might not have anybody who are in your corner. That's the worst part. That's hard because I've been there. There's been several moments where I have felt like I was alone. And in the most darkest points of my life, I felt like I was alone. People have walked out on me. People have just turned their back on me. People have betrayed me. And it can be hard to get through things when you are alone, all by yourself. But you know, you gotta be there for you. You've got to be your cheerleader. Because not everybody's going to be there always for you. I've learned that. Growing up, I'm learning that not everybody's going to be in my corner supporting me. I've got to dig my heels in and be my cheerleader. So I have to choose to motivate myself, speak life to myself, be positive towards myself. Because the past is dark. When I was sexually assaulted when I was 8 years old, and until a few days ago, announcing that to everybody, I've been holding that in. I've been holding that dark past in. Because it was hurtful. It was horrible. And I was embarrassed and ashamed of being sexually assaulted when I was 8 years old, man. I didn't want anyone to know. Because I didn't want anyone to think of me in a horrible way. I felt ashamed. Sometimes I felt like it was my fault. But until I realized it's not my fault, and it's not your fault if you've been sexually assaulted. If you have a past that has traumatized you in any way, it is not your fault. You can overcome it. You can get through this. Somebody has commented in chat, how am I doing? I'm doing great. Today's just a great day and my first live stream. And do I consider myself a superhero like Batman? Well, you know, I am. I would love to be Batman, but I have a dad bod, so I'm not as sexy as Batman. But yes, I am a superhero, especially to my kids. I am their hero. So yes, but how are you doing? How are you feeling? Do you consider yourself a hero, like Batman or Superman or whatever you feel like? But so today, how are we going to get through our past traumas? Well, you have to acknowledge how you feel. How you feel. You can't live in denial. Constant denial means, you know, that's the first step. Getting past denial. And like, oh, well, you know, I feel this way, but I'm just going to pretend that it doesn't exist. I'm just going to pretend that it's not there. Pretending like you don't feel your pain. Pretending like you got it all together, but really you feel horrible like crap. Pretending you can't heal if you pretend. You can't heal from it. You can't overcome it if you are constantly pretending like you're not in pain. So You've got to acknowledge how you feel. You've got to say, you know what? I feel like crap. I feel like crap. I feel pain. I am feeling like I have nothing else to live for. I feel this way. I have suicidal tendencies. I have depression. I have anxiety. I feel this way. You've got to acknowledge how you feel. You've got to quit denying that you're hurt. You got to quit denying that you've been through, that you haven't been through this, because you've been through pain. You've been through hurtful situations. You have. But you can get through it. You can overcome it. But you got to acknowledge how you feel. You got to say, you know what? I feel this way, and I'm acknowledging it. I'm not hiding from it. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist. I am in pain, and I'm acknowledging it. So that's the first step. The first step is getting past denial. That's the first step. How do you focus on following Christ while everywhere you look in the world seems to be so overwhelming? Reminds me of Paul in prison, or Jesus on the cross. Still on. How do you focus on following Christ while everywhere we look in the world seems to be overwhelming? Well, that's a really great question. It's all in the choice. Now, we can't always be perfect. We can't control everything. What do we have control of? Our perspective, our focus. I am choosing to focus on Jesus. I am choosing to focus on being positive. I am choosing, while everywhere is falling apart and the world is falling to pieces, I am choosing to be positive. I'm choosing to change my perspective. I can't control when these thoughts come. But what I can do is take them captive, be like, you know what? I feel this. This is how I am thinking right now, but I'm going to throw it, cast it aside, because I'm choosing to be positive. So, the world, it is overwhelming. Everything is falling apart, especially here in this country, in the U.S., with the economy. Everything is just so expensive. Everything is just falling apart. But I am choosing, I'm a hard worker. I'm going to get through this. And everything might be expensive. Everything might be falling apart. And I might be falling apart on the inside. But you know what? I'm choosing to look positive. I'm choosing to think positive. I'm choosing to focus on Jesus. I'm choosing to, it says in 1 John chapter 3, verse 20. It says this: even though we feel guilty, God is greater than how we feel, and he knows all things. So even if we feel guilty, God is greater than how we feel, and he knows it all. He knows what you feel. He knows how you're feeling. Now, there are those who and which I respect. If you don't believe in God, or if you're not, like, if religion is not your thing, then I want to respect you. That is not for everybody. What I learned in recovery is everyone has their higher power. For me, it's Jesus. For you, it could be something else. As long as you have that something that is greater than yourself, that is a positive something to get you through your day-to-day life, then that's extremely important. So the next thing I would like to talk about is focus on what you can control, and we already talked about that, because we can't control when the negative thoughts come. We can't control if our tire breaks down. We can't control if we lose our job. We can't control if our marriage has fallen apart. We can't control if our kids have turned their backs on us. We can't control people. We can't control the outcomes in our life. We can't even control the negative thoughts that come, especially when you have flashbacks of your past trauma. We can't control that. We can't control when we just fall into depression. Depression is out of our control. You can take medication for it to help ease, to help numb it, to help you get through it. Medication helps, especially for mental health. It helps you get through the day. But you can't control it. You can't say, I'm going to just not be depressed and not face it. So that is something we can't control. But what we can control is I am choosing to not get discouraged. Depression is out of your control. Discouragement is your choice. you know what? I am depressed. I have this cloud hanging over me. Everything is falling apart in my life. I've lost my job. My car has broken down. My kids have left me. And we can list all the pain and all the trauma and all the dark things in our life. We can list all of that because it's out of our control. We can't control that. But we can control how we choose to react. We can control how we choose to relook at it. We can control how we choose to get through it. We can control that. We can get through it. Do you think always stay busy with our minds occupied can help with depression? Is because we are busy with other things, so our minds isn't focused on negative. You know what? Staying busy, that is a great point. You know, to distract ourselves from our feelings, to distract ourselves. Okay, let me reread your question. So, sorry, I have ADHD, by the way, so I am all over the place. So if I start rambling in one area, and sometimes I forget why I started talking in the first place. So let me read. I'm sorry, it's ADHD. Do you think you can always stay busy with our minds occupied so you can help with depression, discouragements because we are busy other things? Oh, okay, I get it. Yes, so like for me, scrolling, constant videos, like constant funny videos, like when I'm on Facebook watching Reels or YouTube Shorts. So we constantly scroll to watch videos to distract me from what I'm feeling, when I'm feeling depressed, when I'm feeling sad. So I would or playing games, video games, binge watching a series, distracting me from what I'm feeling in the reality. Yes, we all do that, or with a hobby. Like for me, I love making videos. I love taking pictures. I love spending time with my kids. I love watching random videos that just come on my phone. So yes, that is a healthy way. Now, no matter what is healthy, there's always a way to turn it into a negative. Yes, you can stay busy to not be so stuck into depression. Okay, how can I say it? Okay, so yes, keeping your mind on positive things, yes, can help you not constantly be so focused on what you're feeling as far as the negative things. Yes, but don't let your constant busyness distract you from dealing with how you're feeling, dealing with the issues. Because I can let my constant distractions, binge watching a Netflix series, scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, to distract me, or work so much. I can work myself to death to keep me from the reality of what I'm going through. You've got to eventually deal with your emotions. You've got to eventually deal with your depression. You might not be able to get rid of it completely because none of us in this world, there's not a single person that can say, I am done with depression and it will never happen again. If that is you, I want to meet you because I need to learn from you, because I have yet learned to get rid of depression completely, permanently. It's a day-by-day thing. You got to put in the work. It takes work. It takes a strong person to say, I am not going to let this depression overcome me. I'm not going to let it control me. I can't control when it comes over me, but I am choosing to fight it. I am choosing to say, you know what? I feel this way. I'm not denying it. My life is crap. Sometimes it was out of my control that I didn't didn't choose to happen to me. But other times, especially with me, I've made mistakes that have put me in this mess. I put myself in this mess by choosing the wrong things, doing the wrong things, thinking the wrong things. I did this to myself. So, yes, there are healthy ways to keep yourself busy, to not let you be focused on what you're going through in a depression, but don't let it distract you from dealing with it. You got to deal with it. You got to put in the work. You might not get rid of it completely. It's a lifetime. It's a process. It's not something that will be done in a moment. It takes a lifetime, and that's okay. That's life. That's just what we all have to do when you're ready, when you're finally mature enough. I mean, I don't consider myself that mature yet. I've got some more growing to do. I got some more learning to do. I don't have it all together. Mentally, I may have grown a lot. I have been through a lot. I have faced a lot. I've lost a lot. I've been through a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of heartache. Some was out of my control, but some it was my fault. I messed up. But you know what? I may not be able to overcome it completely, but I can choose to be positive through it all. Is the decision tough to deal with it? Hard to begin with? Like, we know we need to make a change, but we procrastinate. Oh, that procrastinate, man. Woo! As I get older, I begin to procrastinate a whole lot more. Like, man, I really need to go get groceries, but I just don't want to do it. You know what? Let me just watch one more episode. You know what? I don't really need to do this right now. Yeah, I need to wash clothes. I need to clean this house. Oh my god, we can do it tomorrow. Oh man, I really need to get over this depression. We can wait. We can wait one more week. Yes, it is hard. Procrastination, man. You know, I don't know where it comes from, and I can't say that. Oh yeah, I've mastered procrastination, man. It has mastered me, no lie. But you know what? Even though I procrastinate, I eventually, you know, it's just so funny when we get to the point of like that deadline. Oh my gosh, I gotta get this house cleaned up. My kids are coming over. Oh my gosh, I gotta go to work, and you start rushing to get everything done. You know, it is hard but when you get to the point where you've had enough. I am tired of feeling this way. I am tired of my past trauma controlling me. I am tired of feeling this way. I am tired of being tired. I have had enough. When you have had enough, that's when you begin to face it. That's when you begin to say, you know what? I'm tired of it. I may not can overcome it in an instant, but I am choosing to get through it. I'm choosing, because I've had enough. I'm tired of feeling this way. But I've had enough, so I'm going to get through it. Another thing, seek support. You got, a lot of us, we can't afford therapy. I know I can't. I can't afford to go to therapy. I mean, therapy, it is really, really expensive. I mean, good Lord. I mean, gosh, people say you gotta go to therapy. Therapy helps, and it does. Talking with someone professionally, that is a great thing, but it can be very expensive. I mean, I know there's tools out there like, this isn't a paid thing. This isn't a paid promotion, but I've never done it. But like BetterHelp BetterHelp. It's like an online therapy thing. I've heard of it. And I have, are there any Bible verses that help with that? There are plenty of Bible verses. In fact, the entire Bible. For me, when I was going through my cancer, the book of Job, or as Medea likes to call it, the book of Job. No, going through his story. See, Job, he lost everything. And he could have cursed God. He could have, turned his back on him, but he chose to praise him. He's, the book of James, endurance. Did you know that endure means to suffer patiently? That's what endure means. Oh, I'm going to endure it. Yes, that means you're going to suffer patiently. I am not a very patient person. I'm not. But, endure. Yes, suffer patiently. I got the suffering down great. Yes, it's just the patience part. I gotta be patient through this mess. Are you kidding me? How can I ever endure this dark? How can I get through cancer? How can I endure through this? By choosing to be positive, by choosing to think that, you know what, I can't control this. Yes, the test results are not what I wanted it to be. That was out of my control. But you know what? in spite of what I can't control, I'm choosing to be like, you know what? I can fight it. I can get through this. But you gotta seek support. And you said that I am your therapist. Man, we're in this together. This YouTube channel, this is a safe place. Because when I was going through my cancer, making these encouraging videos for people who are just like me, going through pain, going through suffering, we're all struggling here. So this is what has helped me get through it. And I am so glad that it has been an encouraging to you, because we've all been through pain. We've all been stuck in the constant trauma of our past. I just want to get past it, learning to get past my past. And it's very difficult, especially when you can't forget it. When you can't forget that you've been sexually assaulted when you were a child, that you can't forget the painful moments going through those radiation treatments with cancer, that you can't forget that you grew up in a broken home where your parents were divorced, that you can't forget that you were constantly moving around, constantly being alone, constantly leaving your friends and family, the people that you know, constantly being rejected, constantly being betrayed. It's hard to forget those emotions. And then when we remember, it's like the emotions that were attached to that memory come back up, and now we could be feeling happy, and then all of a sudden everything just falls apart because we remember. Our memory is our biggest enemy sometimes. We can't control those memories, especially when they're painful. But you know what I've learned? I've learned that even when I am faced with depression, because it comes, good Lord, just yesterday. I mean, when you're constantly trying to stay busy, it seems like the wave of depression that comes just gets worse and worse until you deal with it. But until you've said, you know what, I've had enough. I'm tired of being tired. I am tired of this depression. I am tired of this trauma. I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of it controlling me. I'm tired of not being happy. I'm tired of not getting through this. And even when I get through it and I feel better, it like a week later, like a month later, it just comes back to where why? Why does it keep happening to me? Why can't I get through it? Why can't I just overcome it? And we might not always know the answer. We might not can afford to go to therapy. We might not be able to get through it in an instant. But you know what? You can get through it. You can overcome it. You can get past your past. Yes, it was dark. Yes, it was painful. But you know what? We're in this together. And as I get, I've been doing this live stream for 30 minutes now, and so I just feel like that I should get close to, closing this live stream, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching. And Chad, you've been it's so great to meet you through this thing, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And no matter what you're facing, brother, you're going to get through it. We're going to get through this together, and I just want to say thank you for watching. You've been the only one on this live stream, so man, thank you. But yeah, and if you're watching this and the rebroadcast and you've watched to the end, hey, thank you for watching. And we can't overcome things in an instant, but what we can do is get through it together. You're not alone. Thank you for watching. Bye.